Hello and welcome back to HCS Weekly. I'm your host, ShyWay. And guys, today's episode is a fun episode, all right? It's a fun episode, especially if you are a fan of content creation. If you want to become part of the content creation world in Halo, if you're trying to make a name for yourself in Halo, myself included, this is a great episode to tune in because we have a general theme for today's episode, and that theme is the HCS Grassroots Program. I have two individuals I'm bringing on the show to talk about this. It's going to be a great time. But of course, before we get into that, guys, make sure you stick around till the end of the show. Tony, throw up the graphic. We've got a team pass to give away at the end of the show. You and 3 of your lucky friends can compete in this upcoming event, UGC St. Louis. This is a huge event, guys, unprecedented in the history of HCS. We've sold over 128 team passes so far, so you want to be a part of this. But let's get into the topic today. And also, I guess this is our Christmas episode. Next week, we've got Christmas, and then we have New Year's, so we're going to have to try to figure out how to fit all that in. But Merry Christmas, guys. Anyway, let's get into the topic, HCS Grassroots. I'm excited to bring on our first guest. He is running HCS social media. He's got a history in content creation. You saw that sick montage. Welcome, Muggsy, to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, no problem. Good, man. I was wondering, are you at the 343 offices right now?
Yeah, I am. We have a little
what's it like over there?
Little office room for the HCS team. That's where I'm sitting right now. We also have like our desks out there and stuff. This is like our esports room. You can tell by the banners behind me.
Yeah, no, I saw them earlier. You have like the whole lineup going there. It looks comfortable, man. I'd love to see what that's like someday. We'll see.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'd love to get into this and start from the beginning because, of course, you don't just jump into social media on HCS. It's a big role. You've got a lot of history with Halo. Not only are you running social media, you were a content creator. We saw that amazing montage in the beginning of this video. So I'd like to know, how did you first get into Halo? How did you first discover and get into content creation?
Yeah, sure. I got into Halo with Halo 3 is like when I really dove into actually playing. That was the first Halo that I owned. I didn't have an original Xbox like one of my cousins did, and I would kind of play Halo 1 and 2 over there. But Halo 3 was the first one that I owned, that I bought, and got to play a lot. And I got into content creation by just simply wanting to put my gameplay onto YouTube. Like I would always go to YouTube and search like Halo 3 top 10 stickies or top 10 snipes. And like I was always fascinated by the kills that everyone in those videos got. And I wanted to put what I thought was my sick gameplay onto YouTube. So I looked into like capture cards and doing all of that. And then that turned into making montages. And then kind of from there just kind of escalated to like general content creation, motion graphics, and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, you became seriously talented at it as well, but that was the best time, I'd say, to be a part of it all, like to be inspired by it, because the top 10s in the Halo 3 era were amazing, like the Chris Puckett MLG top 10s and all the montages, the straight ribbon montage that got created, like that paved the way for YouTube montages, YouTube content creation today. So I think you jumped in at a great time. And then things started to transition over, but you're not only just creating these montages, you must have been grinding the game too. You're pretty damn talented at Halo. I'm not sure if you guys know, but like Muggsy, you've got some serious talent. There's this one clip, I was watching your Twitch highlights. There's this one clip I wanted to show. Tony, are you able to throw that on for us real quick? This is just one thing. There's a lot that you put together. Tony, where is it? Throw it up. What is it? Yeah, no, not just the first clip where he throws the sticky. I just come on. All right, here it is.
Oh yeah.
This is so sick.
Imagine if I got somebody. Oh my bro. Triple?
All right, and that's just one of like many amazing clips.
The overkill was right there, but he hid from me. But anyways. Yeah. I
think you pointed that out
getting that clip. Yeah.
yeah. You just like narrowly missed the overkill, but that's just like one of the, the crazy things. Like some of your sticks are insane. You're like cross map sticking people. I don't know if you've been practicing that regularly, but I never.
It just
sticks
kind of goes back from watching like montages like Furion, Reed 18, like all those guys just like throwing straight up stickies. I do that all the time. Like I'm never planning to hit somebody, but I always go for those.
Yeah. And it's not only that, but you've also got this like really hilarious like meme worthy content. I don't know what to call it. I guess I'll call it like meme worthy content. Tony, we got another video. This one's this like mated clip. You guys, you'll see this is a classic one. don't know if you've got that one. There you go.
Anytime you have like a, so let's say, so I guess it's the next time, so it's like 2 minutes, so that when the next time, okay, so that's when it glitches then, so like the next time anytime you have like a, so let's say, so I guess it's,
you want him to do you so much you could do anything.
So I'm assuming all this stuff that you've been putting together, that's kind of what like propelled you into what you're doing today. Because that's what I'm assuming like created the foundation. How did you just watch that and then like think that
Yeah,
that would be
so
the right thing to overlay?
there's definitely a story behind that little
Yeah.
video. I was watching Nated's. I believe he had like a highlight video or something rather on his YouTube channel,
Uh-huh.
and at work one day I was watching it, and I saw that clip, and I noticed that he just was speaking crazy. It was weird, so I went to the comments to see if anyone was talking about it, and like nobody pointed that out. I was like, did nobody watch this? Like, we watched the same video? So I went back to his stream and pulled that out, and that was that video of that kid that couldn't speak. That was the first thing that I thought of, and so I put it on there. But yeah, I was very
Yeah,
surprised
man.
that no one else in his video even noticed that he like nearly had a stroke or something.
I think that's like one of those things that you overlook too. Like in Twitch, it's just such a casual, relaxed environment that streamers like, you know what I mean? If they take their time getting things out, it's people don't even think twice about it. They just,
Yeah,
they're looking for the content, the information. But being able to notice and point out those things and make them into like, meme worthy content, I think those are like one of the hallmarks of a great content creator, a great, social media individual, which that's what's happening with you these days. So you're no longer creating well, you are creating content, but not as frequently on your channel. Now you're working for
right.
343. So here's my my ripped off eavesdrop podcast question, because I love the eavesdrop podcast. But who are you today, Muggsy?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely more of Lalo Torres these days, my professional alias.
Uh,
Muggsy was, who I am online on Xbox, on YouTube, and unfortunately, just with like how busy this job is, I don't have enough time really to just make content for myself anymore. I still am.
mhm.
It's just a lot slower. It's at my own pace.
Right.
Whenever I have time to, when I get home, if I still feel like being on the computer and creating content, and that's when I'll create content for myself. But lately, I get
Mhm.
home and I just want to relax or game a little myself. So maybe after the holidays, when time opens up, I'll be able to start making content for myself. But today, I work for the HCS here at 343 Industries, and my job is to just make sure that we have nice content going up on social media, and that's who I am today.
Awesome, man. So what does that look like in the day to day as the social media like content producer? What exactly
Mhm.
does your day look like?
Yeah, so I mean, at any given point, I'm probably scheduling, developing, or creating content. That could be tweets, graphics, or not graphics, but like in-game like screenshots, or I make a lot of GIFs of like in-game uh, like cinematics and things like that.
Yeah.
Content, any kind of content. If it goes up on social, I probably made it. Um, so developing that content, and then also like creating the plan of like how all of that content works together, and then
Yeah.
definitely like leading up to events like that ramps up super fast. So like I
Right.
mean, I'm scheduling content, creating content, developing content, everything content here at HCS.
Right. And I imagine it gets crazy at times. There's so much going on, like so much to talk about these days. And that's also why apparently I've got you strictly until 5:30 CT, and I can't keep you more than 30 minutes. Because Taji's like, we got this guy on a leash here. He's got stuff to do right after this. So we can't keep him too long. But I'm gonna start asking you some more nitty-gritty questions here. And I know that you can't answer everything. Some things are confidential, guys. So I'm gonna ask what I can, and we have to respect the information that Lalo Muggsy can give us here.
Sure.
So I'm going to start by saying, what would you say is like the goal of HCS social media? And you must have people tweeting at you all day. Like there's so many clips going up these days. So how do you decide what gets posted and what doesn't?
Right. Okay. So the goal of HCS Twitter is just to kind of bring more awareness to our game and our esport. So
Mhm.
however we can reach more people, like that's what we want to do. So like with good content, that's a great way to do it. With
Yeah.
regularly active with a regularly active account. So like we want to hit a number of posts a day. We want to just make sure that you're always going to see HCS on your feed. And
Right.
yeah, so just bringing more people to be aware about the game, get people to want to play the game, and just get people excited for what's to come, whether that be an event or an online tournament or whatever the community is doing at the time.
Right.
That is the purpose of our Twitter account, basically.
Right.
And what was the
Exactly.
second part
So
of that
bringing-
question?
Well, yeah, just essentially bringing, Halo to the forefront and getting people to recognize the game and get excited about the game through Twitter. And that's exactly what you're doing. The second part would be how do you decide what gets posted and doesn't get posted? Just as far as like
Okay.
all this content is being thrown at you. Maybe I have a
Yeah,
secret
yeah.
agenda here also, because you guys know that I make my analysis videos. And by the way,
Uh-huh.
my Bitcoin analysis did all right recently. So I'm wondering, what do I have
Yep.
to do as well to put myself on the radar to get a retweet and for other
No,
content
yeah,
as
we
well?
can we can definitely connect on that after.
Oh,
But
okay.
no, like I
I'll
said,
keep that one under
there
wraps,
is a lot of content out there. There's a lot happening in Halo on any given day, like especially with how many people are streaming nowadays. There's just so
Yeah.
much content out there. And like we have like a social plan, and we have like a number of posts that we want to meet a day, and we don't want to really oversaturate, but like there's a quality bar that we want to hit with our what we feature on HCS, and yeah, I mean there's not a reason why you haven't been featured, if that's what you're wondering. It just hasn't happened yet.
And I'm
Like,
sorry if I'm suddenly putting you on the spot here, because I know
Yeah.
that's okay. Like you, and the thing is there's so much amazing content, so I could imagine it's hard to figure out like what to post. Like a recent thing that you posted, which was sick, was Snipe Down's clip from the recent qualifier, or I guess it was the $800 tournament or whatever, where he hit that nice triple on the
Oh,
pit,
yeah, yeah.
and that has like 2,000 likes right now, so that's like popping off. So there's so many awesome clips. So I'm assuming like it would be like, okay, so how sick is the clip? How hard is it to pull off? Who's posting it?
Right.
And then is
Oh,
there
yeah.
profanity? Like if there's a swear
Yeah.
word, like if somebody drops an F-bomb, is that like automatically it's no longer like,
Yeah,
accepted?
so when it comes to that kind of content, like I have been doing that recently with like pulling sick clips, adding a little edit to it, or just so it's more than just the clip itself. And what I look for there, or what we look for, is the clip has to be, if it's a good clip, like if we're going for like a flashy like clip, then it has to be like amazing. Like obviously there's like, we don't want to post just anything. We want you to want to watch what we post. And if we're posting clips, 24/7 of just average kills, then you're not going to want to watch it. So it has to be amazing, or extremely funny. So like if something really, like if you have a fail, you fall off the map, you betray your teammate on action, like something
Like an Action Man
like we
clip,
want to
something like that.
highlight that too. Yeah, Action Man is great for like comic relief. Like his whole stream is that essentially. So yeah, I mean it has to meet that, like either an amazing play or a really funny play. And then if there are also sometimes where I'll watch something and then I'll think of something that will make it amazing or funny, and then I'll just do that and run with it. But yeah, there's definitely a bar that we want to meet when it comes to
Are
posting
you
sick
like,
clips. But
are you,
go on.
sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just going to talk about the profanity part. Anytime, like obviously we can't
Okay.
control what people are saying when they're streaming and stuff.
Right.
I'll try to, like if it's real, like if it's a really bad word, like I'll try to bleep it out, or I've been doing recently with the happy birthday grunt sound from the campaign. I've been using that a little bit, and it kind of adds to the video because it's a little funny. But if there's just like if it's excessive, I'll just stay away from the clip. Like it's not worth the time to try to fix at that point. But
right. So you're like constantly scanning for stuff like this on the internet and seeing like what people are talking about, which clips look the nicest, I guess. Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily matter, if you're like Snipe Down or you're some like Joe Schmo. Like if it's a nice clip, if it's quality, everything has a chance at being up there.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, if I see it and it's amazing, if I think the community will enjoy it, it doesn't matter who got it. It could be, like you said, it could be Snipe Down. It could be, X420 Sniper or something. I don't know. It could be whoever. Like I'm gonna feature it.
So you guys heard it here. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, keep grinding those Twitter clips. And if you make something nice enough, I mean, tag Muggsy in there and there's a chance a chance that HCS, could retweet you to 60,000 followers. And, I think that'd be pretty exciting just for anybody who's just producing clips, because there's so many people putting together nice clips, so many talented players who are like coming out of the woodwork here, putting together these gameplays. And speaking about, giving players prominence and recognition, let's actually get into the topic here, because I already recognize I'm running out of time quickly. But HCS Grassroots, this is a pretty amazing initiative. This is brand new. You're giving recognition to partnered members of the Grassroots program. They get help and support in a variety of different ways. So it's an amazing initiative. How can you tell, or I guess, can you tell me a bit about this?
Yeah, so I mean, essentially, our HCS Grassroots program is there so we can empower our community and our creators, content creators, tournament organizers, like UGC and the likes. If you guys want to, do good for Halo and the community, we want to help you do that good, and so we're going to help where we can, especially with tournaments, like providing prize pools. We're sending out Xboxes. We're promoting on social, creating content around the event. If you're a content creator, like, we're going to promo your streams, we're going to promo your content, we're going to make you want to create content for the community. So
yeah. Tony, we have a list. Tony, show the list of all the things that Grassroots provides. So if you guys are interested, whether you're a tournament organizer or a content creator, so tournament organizer, you've got prize pool contribution, loaner consoles, giveaways and digital prizes, promotion on social media and halo.gg, content, graphics, sponsor, acquisition support. That's pretty exciting. Sanctioning. And then you've got on content creator side of things, promotion on social media and halo.gg, giveaways, digital prizes, hosting on broadcast channels, content, and graphics. So, I mean, looking at that, something that really pops out to me too is one of the areas that I feel like I'm lacking in my personal channel. Not to keep roping it back in here, but my branding is pretty weak. I'd love to have like logo, graphic content like that. Now, I kind of touched on this before we got into the show, but is that something that you guys do? Are you saying it was like specific graphics packages? You wouldn't necessarily be able to make like personalized content for partner members, or what do you think there?
right, I mean, and that's not to say that like we'll never create something for a creator. Like, it's just
Right.
at the moment we're more so focused on the program as a whole, and just starting to get it off the ground and running. So, like, we would rather create a package that all of our creators can use, rather than
Right.
use our resources and time for creating something for one person and then having to do that again for X amount of creators. So
Right.
yeah.
And yeah, and I mean, they're all part of like a team in general anyway. So it's kind of like that team branding, like you are now part of HCS Grassroots, or you've joined like the club. Like, it's it kind of gives that air of quality to things. And so the first giveaway that you've showcased so far is this BR skin. So can we put that up, Tony? You guys can check out that nice Grassroots BR skin. Looks pretty slick. So how does this work? How do you enter something like this? I noticed like people are tweeting about it. Nated, Ubernick, Vetoed, and Ashman, the first partners, are tweeting about this. And then after you answer that, I was going to ask, is it only in-game items? Can we see bigger things in the future as well? Like, where is that just the start?
Right. Okay. Well,
yeah.
So first off,
the
current giveaways were for the Halo 5 BR skin, but then also an MCC nameplate. There's a Grassroots nameplate for MCC, and that when our streamers give them away, it's a code and it gives you both. So you just enter in one code and it activates on both games. But yeah, we recently started doing those giveaways with our creators just to kind of see how that would go. Did my webcam freeze for you guys?
Yeah, did you adjust something?
I didn't touch anything. That's strange.
Uh-oh, Tony. What do we do, Tony? Oh, wait. I'm holding my breath.
Whoa.
I don't... Give it a second.
There it is.
Said you're on Wi-Fi over there, so I'm here praying.
Okay. Are we good? Okay. It looks like we're back.
I think we're okay.
Yeah. Okay. What was that? Yeah. Okay. So I was talking about the giveaways. Yeah. So we had our. Did it freeze again?
It did, and it's a pretty great image this time. There we go. Wait,
okay.
Man, I can't. I'm gonna. Yeah. I'm just gonna.
Okay. I'm gonna sit very still in case it freezes again. Okay, in short, we do plan on ramping up the giveaways to be more than just in-game items. We'll have more info on that soon, but yes, the plan is to, as the program grows, the things that we can offer will grow as well.
Okay. And then I'm going to keep talking to a statue of you as far as the rest of these guys.
I'm sorry, I'm really not sure why it's freezing.
No, yeah, that's totally okay. I wouldn't expect you to know. So should we rerun it Tony, do you think, or should we keep it like this? It's gonna be kind of tough. I mean, we got the audio.
Oh, looks
Keep
like it's
going.
back.
Yeah. Come on, Halo gods, like 343 Wi-Fi. Kick it in,
It
kick it in
looks like
high
it's
gear.
good now. I think
Yeah.
we're good.
Okay, so one big thing I wanted to point out. So you've got the BR scan you're giving away. You could be giving away bigger things in the future, which is awesome. But you have people applying like crazy right now. You've got literally like
Oh yeah.
it was like 450 plus applicants.
Yeah, we're
Tony,
close
can you
to
show the
500.
tweet? Right, yeah. So show the image, the tweet about the applicants, Tony. There it is. Yeah. So Tashi posted this recently. We're still working our way through grassroots program now. Like, so you got 450 plus and more every day as far as applications go, and that you're responding in waves, with the first one being before the holidays. So that's got to be really soon. Like the first wave of new applicants coming up pretty soon, right?
Right. And well, that's responding to the applicants. That's not
responding
posting.
to okay.
Right,
Okay.
right. Yeah, there's so many,
Right.
like so many applicants, and we're just trying to do our due diligence and make sure that we're bringing in the people who deserve to be brought in. And what was the second part of that question? Was it?
Well, no. So
were
what
you
I'm
asking?
thinking. Well, because this is what I'm going to continue it with, because what I'm thinking here is like you've got all these people applying and you're going to respond in waves, but how the heck do you scale a program like this? Because let's say you get like you add 10 more people and then you add 20 more people, and what I see so far with the 4 that you currently have is you're tweeting when they're streaming, you're tweeting like their giveaways,
Right.
like your Twitter is going to be crazy. It's going to be so cluttered.
Right.
So how do you see yourself scaling the grassroots program, and what do you think HCS grassroots would look like if it was a success in the future?
Right. Well, for us, HCS grassroots really it's a long-term play, and
Right.
it is going to start a lot slower and ramp up as time goes.
Mhm.
I mean, we just want to make sure that we're going to do it right, and as far as how that looks later on, I'm sure the program will evolve as we start to bring in, like you're saying, so many people. Obviously, like I said before, we don't want to clutter the timeline and
Yeah.
oversaturate with our content. So I'm sure that we'll have something in place to where the people that deserve to be you know broadcasted and have their voice heard or echoed, it'll happen. So I'm not worried. I'd rather, that's a good problem to have, more content than not enough content.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just excited to have that problem when the time comes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I see that as well. Yeah. So I think, if they scale the program and you get extra people coming on, that would be amazing. You're still, you're still growing that initiative. But then, so from there, would there be like a limit to the number of partners though? Do you see that ever like capping out? Like, could you have too many, or, um,
At the moment, we don't
I guess
plan to have
that's
a
kind of
limit. No.
right. You're just leaving it, like you're leaving the cap open completely. Just, okay. Okay, so I mean, it's exciting the fact that we're having this partnership. I'm wondering where it's going to go, because I think the potential for something like this is amazing, especially for the new content creators that are a part of this. It's giving like a new lease of life here. It's like a new reason to start to commit, to work hard, and to put out your content, because you have this
Right.
to work towards. I'm really curious to see how it plays out when things start to get bigger. And like, yeah, you're right. It's a good problem to have. We can get a ton of people joining in, but I wonder if like you would have to limit it at some point, or if we would find a way to have like maybe large scale events or something that include multiple content creators, and then everybody kind of gets a piece, and yeah. So I'm not sure how far we can project
Right.
this in this this conversation here. Yeah, but so if you're a content creator and you want to become a part of this, you want to join this HCS grassroots program, what would you recommend, I guess, to new content creators? Are there any tips or anything, like as far as when you're looking at these applications, is there like something that you like certain variables that are weighted much higher than
Right.
others?
Yeah.
As far as,
So
yeah,
what we're really looking for in our partners for grassroots is one, to have a positive voice in the community. Two,
right.
to be consistent with your content, and three, have quality content. So if you're hitting those 3 bars, you're going to be a very good candidate. So I guess any
Okay.
advice I have would just to stick to it. If you're not seeing the growth of the numbers you think you should be seeing, don't stop. Just keep
Yeah.
going. Maybe try something different. But definitely consistency is probably the most important thing to me is
Yeah.
consistency.
So consistency, and then I guess like upholding a certain level of positivity. Of course, you're being represented by the company, so of
Right.
course you guys got to be careful what you're posting and what you're talking about. And then what about like uniqueness? I guess creativity would be a big part of it as well. Trying
Yeah,
to
no,
like
that
fit
is
a certain
yeah.
your content. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
definitely a big one too. Is like creativity. Like, what are you doing differently? Why should we have you in the grassroots program if you make content like so and so who's already in the program? Like,
Yeah.
definitely creativity and standing out is good, but above that is positive voice, consistency, and just a
Yeah.
good quality bar on your content. You want to make sure that any video anyone watches of your content, they're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would say you're doing a great job so far. I mean, you've got Action Man, Nated, Uber Nick, and Vetoed. All these guys are amazing content creators. I'm really excited to also be able to talk to Vetoed right after this, and we'll get what his thoughts are as far as HCS Grassroots goes. I'm excited to see where this scales in the future. I've got my finger on the trigger as far as applying goes. I haven't applied just yet because I kind of want to feel like when I apply, you said consistency was the biggest thing. I want to make sure I'm putting out consistent content. I'm in a position where I feel like I deserve that role. So I'm right there, and I want to be a part of that.
Right.
I'm ready to make that jump. It's going to happen
Sure.
soon. So hopefully one day I can join you guys, and we'll create some content for HCS as well. But that pretty much closes out everything I wanted to cover today as far as HCS Grassroots goes. Thank you so much, Lalo, for coming on. Do you have any shout outs or anybody that you'd like to shout out for the stream?
I mean, shout out to the HCS team here. I'm still a little bit new, still getting to know a lot of people, but I love the team that I work with. Shout out to all my fans that watched my montages back in the day that are still keeping up with me. And then shout out to everybody watching and supporting HCS.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, man. I know I had you on a short timeline here, but I'm glad I was able to grab you for 30 minutes and glad that you can give me some more info on HCS Grassroots and we can get an understanding of that program. Excited to see where things go. Thank you so much for being on the show. And
thanks for having me.
On next guest. No problem, man. Okay, guys, so that wraps up the first half of the show there. You guys get a better sense of HCS Grassroots and what to expect from the program. Excited to see where things take us. But if we focus on the present, one of our 4 members, of course, is Vetoed as a member of the HCS Grassroots program. So far, Vetoed's been putting together some great content. He's done a giveaway on the BR skins as well. Let's get Vetoed on the show and get his perspective. How's it going, man?
Hello. It's going great. How are you?
Good, man. Nice to have you on the show. It's good to have you, you followed me on Twitter and I instantly was like, oh my God, I got to reply and get this guy on the show. I love your content, dude.
Thank you. I was super excited to be on. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. How's your day been so far?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm gonna lie, I was planning to stream a little earlier, but I was like, oh man, I gotta make sure I get everything sorted out. And I'm kind of glad I did, for this, because I had a lot of webcam issues, a lot of technical issues. So I'm kind of glad I took the time to get everything sorted out. But other than that, doing great. Super excited to be here.
Okay, well, I'm excited to have you here. I want to start with your background from the beginning in Halo, because at the moment you're a partnered streamer, you're a content creator, you're widely known for your talent in FFA, but I want to know where it all began. I actually went on your YouTube channel and I went all the way back 8 years. And in the first video that you made was a Halo 3 clip where you were gonna fall off the edge on Epitaph, and you crouch, you Gandhi hop or something and bounced off the edge. You did a Halo 5 clamber in Halo 3 and somehow stayed alive. Anyway, needless to say, you've been playing Halo for a while. So how did you first get into Halo?
Okay, so that's kind of a weird story. Basically, I just used to play a lot of video games, right? A bunch of random video games, which nowadays I don't do as much anymore. But I would try a bunch of video games. You'd rent video games how Blockbuster used to be a thing. You could actually rent video games and keep them for a while and play them. Used to do that a lot. One of those days, Halo was one of those games. Gave it a shot. I was like, damn, this game is sick. And I got into it, played it more, played some split screen. So I was like, I have to buy this game. I don't think you can just give it back and never play it again, And I used to split screen with my brother. At some point, I started beating him too much. So I tried looking for people and get him to split screen with me, and all of a sudden, people fell in love with the game. We had LAN parties and whatnot, and it started all the way back to Halo 2, right? So that was well over a decade ago, which is kind of scary to say. A decade is a long time, but started with Halo 2. Yeah, that's crazy.
Halo 2 was the game though. Halo 2, like with the button combos and landing in Halo 2, like basement lands in Halo 2 are probably some of my best childhood memories. I got no shame in saying that. That was
Right.
amazing. Just like staying up until the next morning and drinking I would drink these little chubbies, like those little pops. I don't know if you know what they're called, like chubby or whatever. Yeah, we would just stay up all night just playing like rockets
same,
and
dude.
swords and like ridiculous game types in Halo 2. And everybody was terrible, so it didn't like matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it started for me too, man. And
Yeah. So
eventually picked up. Oh, sorry.
no, go for it.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say picked up Halo 3, started playing online. Obviously, it's a different ball game. Went from playing like just friends at a LAN party to playing online. Completely different skill set. Got this right for a little bit, but kept grinding. There was ranks, the 1 to 50. Wanted to grind it out, and I did. Eventually, got better, and like I used to always go like for 50s, and that was my grind essentially. But eventually, I was like, I want to make YouTube stuff, I want to actually like get myself out there. I feel like I'm good enough where like it's entertaining to watch, And obviously, I had to get all this equipment. I was a broke kid, couldn't really afford any of that, so that came until later when there was like actual accessible capture cards and like PCs were a bit easier to get. But yeah, it started with like random clips. People would capture them for me, and I just upload them, and that's why like initially my YouTube channel was just a bunch of random like Halo 3 clips, Halo Reach clips.
Right.
But eventually I started like doing actual content with Halo 5 when I had like a proper setup and everything. And yeah, kind of just kickstart from there.
Yeah. So from what I can see, things like really started to kick off with Halo 5 and FFA as well, is where you really started to like show your talents. Back on your YouTube, once again, you uploaded a gameplay where you played some top champion players. You beat some top champion players, including Nated and Ares. And when I went back in the comments, I noticed that there was a lot of like negativity and skepticism about your gameplay. Like people were saying your connection's too good, or like you were moving faster than a natural Spartan should move or something. Like people were doubting your abilities. And then I went back to some of your earliest videos, and for some reason they have a lot of dislikes. Like I'm not sure what that's all about. So I'm wondering, were you met with like doubt from the community in the beginning? You had to like prove yourself. Was there a point, I guess, where you felt like you were really lifting off, you proved your talent, and that you could make it somewhere with the content creation?
That's actually a really good question. Initially with Halo 5, I think there was such a thing as like I was already good at the game, right? I've been grinding Halo for like so many years now, and like I picked it up in matchmaking minutes. So like I was going up against pros like right off the bat, right? And like I was good enough to beat them. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, why wouldn't I show it off, right? I'm playing against good people. I'm winning. People want to watch that. It's good gameplay, right? But obviously, like someone is, let's say, like a big fan of a pro that gets beat. You're like, there's no way this guy's better. What is he cheating? What is this all about? Like, you never want to see your hero lose. You know, it's kind of like a superhero movie. You don't want to see like your superhero lose. And that's kind of like how it was. I think people were like, this guy must be doing some weird stuff. There's no way he's legit. But like, I will say like probably the inconsistency were just like maybe theater mode being a little off, and like people were like
theater mode. That was the comments too. Yeah, they were saying, oh yeah, theater has like lag time, so this is like not real.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I feel like I proved myself by just like consistently playing top players and beating them. I mean, I would stream my gameplay. There was nothing like suspicious about it. I think people kind of like slowly picked out and figured out that I wasn't cheating or doing anything weird. I mean, I'm streaming it. You can't see it, And I just kept putting out gameplay, and people realized, well, this guy's kind of consistent in skill, so he's probably legit.
Yeah, you're no longer the villain. You became the hero yourself, and managed to prove yourself. The thing is like you prove your talent. You're beating these pro players, but did you ever compete? Because it seems like you don't really have a competitive career. Like I went back. You actually have like a little wiki page though, where it says you competed in Halo 5, but you're only in one event in 2016. It was like a regional finals. So did you ever want to compete or try to compete at some point?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think those are things since like probably all the way to Halo 3. They used to have like these MLG films on the dashboard, the Xbox store, whatever we call that. You could like download them and watch like the VODs of the events. And I used to I was like, wow, this is sick, dude. These guys are so good. And like, obviously, I always kind of wanted to compete, but I mean, I'm Canadian. I was a kid back then. I couldn't afford to like travel to the events. It was like a different country. That was way too expensive. So like, I only played online for like the longest time. And obviously, there was a bit of a kind of a downtime. I don't want to call it dead. Where like once you drop the Halo scene, but like between Reach and like MCC H2A, there was like kind of like a downtime in terms of the competitive scene, and obviously it wasn't really an opportunity for me to compete until like I want to say Halo 5. I could have competed in HCS. I didn't really like the game personally. I wasn't like super big into it. But Halo 5 was like, oh, this game's pretty fun. I feel like I'm pretty good. And eventually got some people that I thought were talented. There was one thing I started like, I had a mindset when I started competing is that I did not want players that were already established. Simply like because I wanted to like get myself out there with like new players, you know, and kind of like have this story like we're on the come up, right? And yeah, I found some brand new players. At the time it was Barbalized. It's called Marbs now. He changed his gamer tag. King Nick, Get Free.
Yeah, King Nick is like amazing now.
Yeah, King Nick was always a really solid player.
And then and Monster as well, who's like playing Fortnite nowadays more so. But
Monster,
he was a good player. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had this team right off the bat. We competed online for it was online qualifiers back then, right? And our very first series, a very first tournament. Sorry, I don't want to say series. The first qualifier, we ended up playing against like Team Liquid, upsetting them, and it was like a big deal, right? It was like, oh my god, we're so good. But obviously, it was like a best of 3. We could have called it a fluke, whatever. Obviously,
you got like third, fourth place or something.
Yeah, I think it was fourth. Something like that. Yeah, third, fourth, whatever. Yeah, obviously we're riding the hype. We're like, yeah, we're pretty good. Why don't we just like keep trying this out? And then we had like a top 32 placing next qualifier, and then top 16. We're like hovered around top 16. And eventually, like we made some team changes before. I don't want to point fingers at anyone, but like some people on our team weren't feeling comfortable, so we made team changes. So we ended up like qualifying anyways for the event, right? But it was like with a slightly different roster initially, and obviously it was kind of hard to compete with like a brand new roster going into an event. That's something I would definitely not recommend for anyone. I would say like always commit to a team and see how it works out. Give it time. But we played in the regionals qualifier in like what 2016, I want to say.
Yeah, it was 2016.
Yeah. Honestly, it did not do too well. I'll be completely honest. Like I said, it was a brand new team at the moment, but I was like, yeah, it kind of like bothered me how so easily one person could just like change the whole team dynamic. And it was kind of hard to commit to competing with that mindset. Just like thinking about the fact that one person can just drop the team and like all of a sudden you're like, oh well, this is not working out anymore. So is that what kind of like got you to make the switch to FFA then? I guess because then it's all you. It's all on you, I guess. Or I mean, I was always really big into free for all. I'll be completely honest. I'm just like really antisocial. I don't like talking to people when I play online. I just do my own thing.
Yeah, no, that's me too. So, I just shut off completely, and like I'm that guy when everybody's complaining. They're like, nobody's calling out. Like I can hear them saying nobody's calling out. I have a headset on, but I'm like, I don't care, man. I'm not gonna call out. Yeah, I'm just playing my game. The same. Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, I was like, I'm just gonna stick to making content. I feel like I can really get myself out there and make it something like somewhat successful if I just commit to it. Because obviously I started YouTube before competing, right? Before I even had the qualifier and everything lined up. And just went along with that. I was like, I'm just gonna dedicate all my time to competing, focus on that, see how it goes. And making content was really like the playing situation. Didn't have to rely on anyone. Doesn't matter if like anyone's shaded or anything. I'm just doing my own thing. Just gotta grind it out, you know. I was like, all right, well, this is working out, so I'm just gonna stick to it. And competing was kind of like on the back burner. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, so nowadays you're making content, you're streaming. One thing I love about a Vetoed stream, by the way, is it's always a fun time. You're hitting sick clips. You're playing a variety of game types. You're doing crazy things. And I just saw this this one challenge. You do challenges as well, where you had to play with your mouth. Guys, check out this clip. Oh, you can throw it up. There it is. The challenge where I'm not sure how much you clipped out.
Using one hand for like this side of the controller. I'm moving with my chin and jumping with my mouth. So the commentary is going to be very limited once again, but yo, we'll try to make it work. Feels like I'm playing inverted or something. Oh! Outplayed. Oh! Yo! No! Oh, I got too excited. Oh! Yo, I'm sick! Let's go, dude! Oh, let's go, dude. Clamber, dude, I'm sick. Okay, there we go. I can just sit there like a turret. Just gotta hit my no scopes, oh, dude. Oh my.
That's awesome, man.
Oh my god.
It looks
That-
so
that
funny
was-
watching you jump with your upper lip trying to jump is so
Yeah.
hilarious. You're like, you gotta like extend your mouth over. Yeah. I'm wondering, like, how does content like this come about? Is it, I guess, like a viewer asked you?
Yeah, that's the wonders of Twitch chat. Twitch chat is always coming up with something else, some
Yeah.
nonsense in a way. And it's like that's the beauty of Twitch, I think. Streaming in general. You have all these minds coming up with ideas, and you can just like always ask them. They like give you this feedback back, and it's great. I mean, it just started with someone saying, "Oh, have you done that?" I was like, "What? That's a terrible idea." I was like, "Wait, let me see." And then I tried it out. It turned out to be pretty funny, you know, and it worked out somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really just how it is. I asked my chat a lot about like content feedback and like where I should go from there and whatnot. And I think it's a really good interaction to have with like as a content creator, like asking people will support you all the time and like always tune into your content. Like they watch you for a reason, right? Like they like your
Yeah.
content, they know what you offer, so like they can really kind of reflect back and tell you, well, this was good, so you should like try something like that, you know. And yeah,
Yeah.
I will say I've never done anything like this before. That was a out of nowhere. But
Do you have like a personal favorite challenge that you've ever had to do? Or like, what is
personal-
your
I mean-
favorite thing that you like to do typically when you stream as well?
I like to just like honestly just kind of go hard in my stream. I just focus, zone in,
Yeah.
listen to some music, like trying to hit some clips. At this point, it's kind of rare that I go for challenges on stream because I like doing that as YouTube content because I think it's really the best way to like watch a challenge. You know, you can like kind of condense it.
Right.
You don't have to. People don't have to watch all the fails and all the terrible mistakes that come along. So that's
Right,
why
right.
like YouTube like edit the terrible stuff out. But
So they didn't show
yeah,
the
yeah.
6 games where you play with your mouth where you did horrible. Is that what happened?
No, I'll
Was
be
it all
honest. That
live,
was
or
the
did
first.
you play with your mouth for like an hour before? That was the first game, really?
No, that was the first attempt. Yeah, that was actually the first game I played. And
Wow.
I streamed that. I was like, wow, let me just put that on YouTube. That was way too good. So that's what I think.
I just imagine like playing with my mouth all day long just to get that one video and making it look like it was the first attempt.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh man. 'Cause that's what happens with my content too. I just like I'll retake until I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with it, and it looks like it's just
Mhm.
it's one try. That was badass, you know.
Right.
But like it's tough, man. Like I had to do it
Oh.
over and over to get it the way that I wanted, the timings right, you know. So
Mhm.
yeah. So as far as content creation goes, though, of course, there's been some big changes happening in the world of Halo. We've had the switch from Halo 5 to the recently polished MCC, but one of the biggest initiatives is HCS Grassroots, and you're one of the first partnered members on HCS Grassroots. Congratulations, man. How did this happen?
I'll be honest, it was kind of out of the blue. One day Tashi just reached out to me and was like, "So I have something to talk to you about." I had no clue. It was like some random late night Discord call. I was like, "All right, sure." He was like, he asked, "Can I call you right now?" I was like, "Okay, sure." And I just
Was it Lalo?
pick up. No, it was Tashi.
Oh, Tashi, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he just mentioned that like kind of generally speaking, I wasn't too sure at first, but I was like, yeah, that sounds like a really dope idea, and I was on board pretty much instantly. I was like, that only positives can come out of that, you know. And honestly, I'm really glad I did because this is turning out to be like way more than anything I anticipated, and I think it's really good for the future of the Halo community and the Halo in general. That's pretty much like one of the best initiatives they could have done, especially like in this stage of a Halo 5 and like the transition period between Halo 5 and Infinite. This is the perfect
Yeah.
time. It's kind of a way for the community and content creators to like kind of push Halo in the direction they want it, and that's why I'm really excited about it. You know, some people like to complain about, I wish it was we played this instead, or like we did this, or you know, but, like Grassroots is pretty much, well, the community can do, you can do whatever you want, just like take the initiative, you know, and that's why I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, it's definitely creating that like level of communication between the content creators and then the developers of the game, and you feel like there's more of like it's more synchronized in that way, right? There's something exciting about it. At the same time, I feel like it's something that they really have to do as well. We can't just have like this hiatus with nothing between now and Infinite. I think the best thing they could do is just build a nice, strong, deeply rooted community. So it's giving these these content creators an opportunity to create that content. I'm sure, like, has it inspired your content creation? Do you feel like you're pushing out more videos, or you're streaming more often because it's like kind of inspired you to do that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely will say that it got me way more into streaming. And I
Yeah.
think for a lot of people too, it's been really motivating. Like even people who aren't part of the grassroots program yet, I think it kind of motivates them to like grind and get themselves out there. And I think that's a great sign. Like more content creators and more motivated people is definitely what the community needs at a stage like this. And yeah, as a content creator, especially what they do with like the giveaways and like helped us with that, it's really giving us like a huge boost out of nowhere, And obviously, boosts like that are always something welcome as a content creator. Like you're never going to complain. I'm like, oh man, I have more people watching my stream, more people on Twitter. Oh man, it's always a good thing,
Follow my Twitter to give away this skin. Damn it. Yeah, like the requirements are like follow me, follow HCS. I'm sure you just get like a list just because people want that skin. You just get all these new followers. That's gotta be good. Is there like a direct line of Is there like a constant communication between you and a member of the HCS team, or is it just kind of like they pop in, they're like, here's the new thing, or you can kind of just like at any time you can chat with them?
We can chat whenever we want. Honestly, they do reach out to us with like, oh, we're gonna try this or that. I think it's kind of like because we're the first wave of content creators, we're kind of still figuring it out. And they reach out to us. They're like, all right, so I'm gonna need this from you. It's not like anything complicated or like a big workload or anything. It's usually like a little thing, like write a little bio or something, or hit me up with like a clip or something, whatever, do the giveaway at this time, so like we don't overlap and we get like the maximum efficiency, I want to say, out of a giveaway. Usually like it's pretty simple. We can bounce feedback like off them, and they like ask us if this is working out or whatnot. We check like the metrics and whatnot, and the analytics, the numbers, whatever. See like, is it helping or is it not? Because obviously, like if it's not helping and everything is going downhill, they kind of want to know. But it's not like that at all. But yeah, we talk a lot. It's really really nice communication. I like the sole Discord
like
setup, or like we can. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So it's on Discord as well. You guys are kind of communicating through there.
Right? Yeah, Discord, Twitter. We just like
It seems like it's been going pretty well so far. And then I kind of want to, because like now you're playing all these Halo games. You got like some new inspiration, I guess, to play more. You've been jumping between Halo 5, Halo 3. Now that Halo 5's kind of like, I hate to say this, but everybody's like, oh, Halo 5's dead now, or whatever it is. But you kind of started with Halo 5 as far as like where you got recognized. You came up in the advanced movement era of Halo, let's say. What did you think of Halo 5 looking back on it, just out of curiosity?
Honestly, I think it pushed forward in a really good way, but I had my issues with the game. That's no secret. Like on stream or in my YouTube content, like for the longest time, I made a whole like YouTube series on how I considered the automatic weapons were powered. I made like a whole road to champion using only automatic weapons, and only AR SMGs, whatever. I would just like go to town on people. Actually, like it was working out so well. It was kind of scary, and it was kind of a way for like to show that I think automatic weapons are overpowered. I think they should do something about it. But
you would do like a just Spartan charge thing as well, right?
Oh yeah, that was a one-off. That was a thing.
It was a one-off one.
Yeah, that's kind of my way of like showing that things should be like kind of looked at a little bit. Obviously, like it's me like low-key flexing my skill as well, but like sort of thing, like I should not be able to do that, But,
right.
Having said that, I think something I really, really like about Halo 5 is definitely, I think thrust as an ability in itself is a pretty fun mechanic. That's something I would personally, moving forward, keep in Halo. But obviously, I think, like I've started playing since like Halo 2, right? So I grew up with classic Halo. This is what I'm familiar with. Having said that, I think the simplicity in Halo is something we need, just because it's a really weird reason, but I think it's easier to get into, and it's like simpler to watch from like a viewer's perspective. Sorry, even as a new player, you get back into it. It's just like, oh, you're just shooting your gun, moving simply. You just gotta know your jumps on the map and like know your angles, know the callouts, have good communication. Having said that, I don't think like Halo 5 is really as bad as people make it sound. Like the small issues I have with it are probably just like bugs, like sometimes bullets and blanks like blank melees just like drop out of nowhere and just like, oh, that's annoying.
Which we're experiencing in all the Halo games, unfortunately. Blank melees
That is true.
super
That is true.
annoying. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, there's definitely a lot of good things that came out of Halo 5, and honestly, I would not do it any differently. I would do it all over again the way it was. It was a learning experience in some ways, and it personally made me really excited for the future, especially with like how I feel like 342 is interacting with the community and like the feedback they're paying attention to and whatnot. I'm pretty excited about like whatever comes next. But yeah,
I feel like it kind of like it almost kind of needed to happen, you know, like there were a lot of mistakes and like the autos are way too powerful and there's too many abilities and it's too hard to understand at first glance. Like you said, you like the simplicity of things. I agree with all that. I think like, you know, making those mistakes and going through that transition, I think that hopefully, you know, 343 and everybody as a community has kind of learned something and they could start off at a way better, you know, starting point with the next title. It does make you pretty excited for what's going to come next, especially with the community focus, more of a direct connection between the community, the developers, the fact that we've taken all this time to transition Halo to where it is now, and you get a sense of like what competitive Halo needs to look like after we've gotten to this final version of Halo 5 and we can see the excitement for Halo 3. I think they've got to be able to find a middle ground, right? Like
exactly.
And I like how you said
that's the important part. Sorry.
Yeah, finding something that's like, sorry, go for it.
Sorry, there's
that's
like
the thing about live chat, man. It's so dumb. We're eventually one day I'll sit down beside somebody and it'll be like a real conversation. But like that's the thing is when you have like two passionate Halo fans just trying to talk about it, and there's like a live chat, and there's a wall of timing that we got to get used to. But go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say like I do want to clarify something. I love Halo 3 to death. It is my favorite game by a long shot. Okay, before anyone gets me twisted.
Halo 3?
I am so glad. Yeah, Halo 3. I love the fact that like grassroots the thing because it gives the community a chance to hype up Halo 3 for what it's worth as a competitive game. And like I have my flaws with Halo 3 too. Like my issue is like I hate the BR spread. I would throw it out the window and never talk about it again. It's kind of clunky here and there, but like it's my favorite game by a long shot. Like there's nothing sicker than someone hitting a no scope across the map for like an overkill and just like, oh my god, I was so sick. Like you get excited every time you see a no scope like in competitive, like you're oh my god, that was nasty. You saw the hype like at the last Halo 3 tournament, the doubles tournament. You know, when Roy hit that double kill, everyone was like popping. Like, oh my god, that was so sick, you know?
Yeah.
And that's something that like Halo 5 kind of struggled to capture because everyone kind of knew like how easier the sniper is and whatnot. But that's what's so good about like simple gameplay and like having a challenging gun. You're just like, oh, when this guy hits a shot, you know that's sick, you know. And that's why like I hope we can find like kind of middle ground between the good parts about Halo 3 and like throw away the bad, and the good parts about Halo 5 and throw away the bad, and like you kind of merge it and get like the ultimate combination.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that like we're going back to that.
Yeah, because there's something so gratifying about the gunplay, right? Like you were saying, like shooting the BR, shooting the sniper, and landing the shots just feels so satisfying because there's so much little nuance that goes into it. Like the aspect of leading your shots and understanding the spread on the BR and like where to put it in every single situation, like that makes things so satisfying. So I think in Ace, when I was talking to Ace, he brought up a great point about that as well. It's just the gunplay just has depth. It's just feels good to shoot things. So I think that's where they really got to bridge the gap is like kind of, you know, bringing things back, dialing things back a little bit from Halo 5 to the point where you can expand the depth in gunplay and have guns that are like really satisfying to use. Because if it's too fast, then you have to, you know, build up the bullet magnetism a little bit to compensate, and then things get a little crazy. And then the gunplay takes a bit of a hit. It doesn't feel quite as satisfying. But even when you said like you like having the thrust, that's the thing is like the thrust is kind of cool. Like there's this kind of interesting like mental aspect to it where people at first glance are like, oh, you have a thrust, you can get away, it's easy. But like when you're in a battle and there's a thrust in play, there's a very specific time that you want to use that thrust, and you want to predict when they're going to thrust and the direction they're going to thrust. And based on your prediction, you can capitalize and completely destroy them, right? So understanding those little nuances makes it so exciting. So if you dial it back a bit, but you still have some of those mechanics that add that depth and then improve the gunplay, the feeling of the gunplay, we can have something awesome. Like I think there is a sick hybrid.
Exactly how I feel.
Yeah. So, I mean, the more I talk to these pros, the more I feel like we're kind of leaning to that aspect. Like the guns need to feel better. They need to be more gratifying because Halo's always been about shooting your gun. Like that's, you have a good shot, you excel. Like your reticle placement needs to be like to a T, 100%, like memorized, like locked in every single corner that you turn. Like gunplay was so important that needs to be prominent in the next Halo.
Agreed.
So yeah, this is me just going off at this point. But
No, I
yeah,
completely
I
agree.
like
That's what I was gonna say. If there wasn't the word delay and like everything, yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I mean, that's how I
Yeah.
feel. The gunplay is such a big part of the game, and like, when someone has a good shot, like they're out there for that. Like people like APG, like he has this aggressive play style. It was like praised upon for like the longest time. Like he just pushes in and hits all his shots. It's sick. Or someone like Roy is just like known for having the sickest BR, and you see him like hit some crispy like 4 shots or like a no scope across the back. It's like, oh, this is so satisfying to watch. It's simple, but like it's just it's hard to do. You can't just go in there like, oh yeah, I can do that easily. Nah, you're like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for somebody who doesn't know it as well, it's like so easy to just understand. It's like, whoa, he messed that guy up. He like hit those shots. It's not happening like crazy quickly. And then for for the advanced player, it's even cooler because how he had to lead those shots. Like how what kind of mindset he had to have coming into that battle just to remain confident in his strafe throughout the entire time and not like windmill or anything, whatever. There's just so many like little nuances that you can appreciate as an advanced player. So a lot of exciting things there. So hopefully they, they're listening. They're keeping a close ear on things. Because I feel like we're seeing a lot of hype from this new inclusion of Halo 3. I'm really excited to see what happens with the UGC event coming up and what we see from there. And the future of Halo could be pretty damn bright, man. Like I think it's time to be positive, guys. I think we got to change our mindset.
I feel that.
Yeah. So you're saying it's refreshing playing Halo 3, your favorite titles, Halo 3. And then as somebody you played everything when it comes to Halo, like you're the type of person with your content, like you've tried all the modes. You've tried Warzone, you tried social playlists, you tried competitive. Are there any other like little things that you think Halo Infinite would need to have when it drops, like to really be successful?
Yes, actually, the most important thing I feel like as a content creator, at least a YouTuber, is to have a good theater mode, and that's something that Halo 5 was kind of weak on. Theater mode / spectator mode needs to be like damn near flawless, and obviously it's easier said than done. But like if you look at a game like Halo 3, that was like obviously way ahead of its time. I think it has a really good core of like how people expect it and want it to be, and I think like having that would make montages and like gameplay and everything so much better. And I will say this, as someone who streams a lot with music on, sometimes like I want to take some gameplay that I like, some gameplay that was sick for my stream, right? Like obviously I can't put it on YouTube because there's music and it gets like copyrighted. I'm just like, oh dang, I guess not. I'm putting that. If I had like tier like Halo 3, I can tell you like how many more videos I would have put out that like sick gameplay. I'm just like, I could have re-recorded it without music, But obviously because I had music that one time, I'll never see YouTube. And I think that's why like that's one reason it's so important. Like for montages, getting angles or like just reviewing gameplay and like showing it exactly the way it happened. I think it's so important.
Yeah.
And from Halo 5, something else that was really good is obviously Forge mode and like the depth of custom games. Obviously Halo 5 didn't launch with Forge, and it was improved upon like quite a bit over the course of the years. This needs to be a tool like right off the bat, no questions asked. We need to just build upon like what we have right now and make it even better. So we need to launch with those things working exactly the way they should, in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's the thing is like you're saying Forge mode, theater mode needs to be right. And I'm thinking back to Halo 5 and I'm like, wait a second, like they weren't even there. Or like the theater mode was there, but it was seriously lacking in the start. And like they had the esports mode, but they didn't get the observer mode till later. And even the observer mode like has room for improvement as well. So like there's so many little aspects. Yeah, going back to Halo 3 and trying to use the Halo 3 theater, especially if you're like trying to analyze gameplay, you don't know how much of a nightmare it is. It's not worth it. It's just terrible. Like, and you can't highlight other players. Like, so I can't tell where anybody is. I can't explain the plays, So like you said, like the theater mode needs to be easy to use, and you need to help people make the best content they can make seamlessly, right? If you can make it so that the game looks amazing and that content creators can create more content easily, like that's going to make the game explode. So I guess theater mode, that's one clear-cut way to allow the game to be showcased in the best possible way whatsoever. So I completely agree there. I think that's huge. It would be sick if you could, from theater, press a button and snap into the POV of the player that you're looking at. And this is just me thinking from like analyzing gameplay, but I'll zoom around the map and then I'll get behind a player and I just want to press a button and snap into his POV and then just start casting from there, if that makes sense. So like being able to do little things like that. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool because then you can just kind of like snap out of a player, move the camera, bam, now I'm behind, Frosty or somebody else who's playing it. It's just very
Right.
seamless. So like whatever we can do to make the action as engaging as possible, right?
Completely
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, guys. So make Halo great again. This is you heard it here. Vetoed and I talking about some of the biggest things that Halo Infinite needs, and I think these are some things that a lot of people can agree on. And that overall kind of wraps up what I wanted to talk to you about today. I've got a couple of things here, though. Where can we find you next? Do you have a stream schedule at the moment? Do you expect to get back into the YouTube grind anytime soon? And then I also noticed you've been playing some Smash Bros recently, which is sick. I'm a huge Smash fan. Are you going to be like strictly playing Halo from here on out, or do you see yourself like branching out into other titles? So,
Okay. Well, right about you can find me on twitter.com/Vetoed, twitch.tv/Vetoed. Pretty simple to remember. Those are the main two hubs. I'm on YouTube as well. I haven't been uploading too much, but it's also /Vetoed. To answer your question, I will definitely I will stick a minute to Halo for a while. That never changes. I think for the foreseeable future, I'll be honest, I don't think I can really see myself like branching off. Obviously, I want to wait and see until like Infinite is really like as good as it has the potential to be. Like I'm not gonna make a decision right now, but obviously I'm gonna wait until Infinite. I'm just too excited. I can't not play the next Halo game. But
I know we don't know how long we're waiting though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. But yeah, for the foreseeable future, definitely enjoying Halo 3. I dabble in Halo 5 still every now and then. That's just because I want to hit my clips for my next montage, probably my last Halo 5 montage, as far as I can tell.
True.
Yeah, and I've been playing a little bit of Smash on the side. Sometimes I play Destiny, but obviously I'm really enjoying Smash right now. I've been into like Smash Brothers since like 64. Like that's even further back than Halo.
Do you follow Melee at all?
Oh, of course, I love Melee. That's where it all started.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's go.
Yeah, my interest in Melee is like it's probably like the esport I watch the most beside Halo, obviously. Nice. I love Melee so much, and it's like that scene is what really made me want to play Smash again.
If I could run a Melee show, I would run a Melee show one day too. That's the dream, man. That game is also so sick. Yeah, man. I mean, all the personalities, it's kind of similar because these Halo scene and the Melee scene have grown like simultaneously beside each other. They shared the same stages. They were like two of the biggest, I guess, like esports titles. Like when you think when MLG first started, it was Halo and it was Smash Bros. So seeing those grow and the personalities that came out of there, like there's so many amazing personalities from both sides. So I feel like those two scenes are kind of like interconnected.
Yeah, I've always said that too. There's a lot of Smash Bros. You used to play Halo, like Halo 2.
Yeah.
Because they were big around the same time with MLG, like you said. And a lot of Smash Bros. Love Halo 2 because of the button combos. It's like very actions per minute intensive, like you just click your controller all the time and it's just like, there's definitely a parallel there.
All right, Vetoed. Well, thank you, man, so much for joining me. I think we've covered everything so far, and I'd be happy to maybe we can do a little bit of an update someday in the future. We get closer to Infinite, and I'll start bringing you guys on. We can get excited about some actual content. We have nothing so far. We've got no idea except for that opening trailer that we had that doesn't really reveal much. But thank you so much for joining me on the show, man. Do you have any shout outs?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Any shout outs? I mean, I want to give a shout out to HCS, obviously, because it's the reason like this even came to be, I think, because we're talking about grassroots, obviously. Obviously, big shout out to Tashi, Muggsy for picking me up. After that, I want to give a shout out to Twitch Prime. I don't know if you guys heard, but no, I'm just kidding. No, but I guess
that's a good time. That's good.
Just check you out on Twitch. I stream a lot. Don't have a set schedule, but yeah.
All right,
that's pretty much it. I want to give a shout out to my beautiful girl, Stephanie, Lady Jupiter. I don't know if she's watching. She's at work. I don't know. But I had to. But that way, when she'll check this out.
Had to, man. He's a gentleman, guys. You got to shout out the lady. You got to always include the lady to shout out. Man, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. And hopefully we can chat again in the future. Have a good night, man.
Definitely. You too, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right, guys, this is the moment you all been waiting for. I know there's a bunch of guys in the chat who are like, when's he going to give away the team pass? Where's the damn team pass? All right, Tony, we're going to send it up now, guys. Get your keyboards ready. Get to ugc.gg. Is it ugc.gg? I should know this, but it'll come up in a second. Get yourself ready, guys. We've got our team pass to give away. We're going to throw up the graphic right now. And can I, what, you want me to go through before I get? Okay. All right, guys. 1 second. I'm sorry. We got announcements, guys. We got to give away some announcements because once I give you guys this team pass, you're gonna all leave and you're not gonna get to hear these amazing announcements. Okay. So the first announcement I wanna bring up to the stream is one of our casters that are gonna be joining us. I'd like to welcome Onset as a member of the casting lineup. Check it out. Holding what is that? Like a little mini Christmas tree there. He's prepared for the holidays. These beautiful graphics we got here with Onset joining us in casting. Um, Yep. Okay. I'll read all these off. We got a bunch of things to talk about, guys. Some huge individuals to announce. The next one following that is going to be Walshy joining us in the casting lineup. Super excited to announce Walshy joining in the casting. He's also going to be doing a little bit of analyst work as well. You guys know Walshy is an amazing analyst when it comes to competitive Halo. So that's an exciting individual to have on the show as well. And of course, guys, we got the Halo 1 2v2 tomorrow on UGCesports.gg. That's going to be huge. Halo 1, guys, I know the Ogres are running that game still, so I'm wondering if they're going to be there as well. They're probably going to clean up everybody, but I'm sure there's some great Halo 1 players who have an opportunity to showcase their skills in that coming up tomorrow. And then on the featured station for the Halo UGC event, we have a couple casters to announce as well. I don't think we have a graphic for this, but we've got Caster Butters. Welcome, Caster Butters, to the team. We've also got Sean Spaceman Rogers. Welcome, Spaceman, to the team. Then we have Tyler Trooper Schumann, or Dave. Is that the same Dave Throop? Oh, I thought Dave Throop was Trooper. There's two different things. Okay, so we got Trooper, welcome, and we've also got Dave Throop, who's also going to be casting on the feature station. So we got a whole lineup of casters for the feature station. We got multiple streams going for this event. Of course, there are tons of games to expect to get excited about. And we're also going to have to remind you that we have a close on the registration, guys. Registration's closing on December 20th for team passes for Halo Classic. So if you're on the fence, you're about to pull the trigger, you better pull that trigger soon, guys. You've got till December 20th to pick up your team passes, and then things are getting locked, and we're going to have our dedicated teams going forward with the event. And now we can do our damn team pass giveaway. All right, our team pass giveaway. You're going to jump in right before the end of registration here. You got an opportunity to compete against the best of the best for the biggest Halo event coming up. Tony, let's put up the code. Get your keyboards ready. There you go. UGCstore.gg. That's the website. There you go. And it's H3-4v4 is the code. Go grab it, guys. H3-4v4. Remember, if you're on Mixer, you got an advantage here. You got a couple seconds of delay on that buffer. We'll see who grabs it. Whoever grabs it, let us know on Twitter. We'll retweet. We'll give you the congratulations, the shout out, and you can join us at UGC St. Louis, guys. It's going to be huge. We've got January 11th, 12th, and 13th for the biggest Halo event to kick off 2019. Probably one of the biggest Halo events of the year. Hopefully, the start of some great things to come for Halo Classic and classic Halo fans across North America and beyond, guys. So this is such an exciting way to kick off our year. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the show today. And like I said, I guess this would be the Christmas episode for now. We're still figuring that out. I'm going to keep you guys posted on when the next episode is coming up. But of course, next Tuesday we have Christmas. So Merry Christmas, guys. And then after that, we have our New Year. So I'm going to figure out how the episode's going to work around these dates. But the next big thing coming up after that, very shortly after that, is the event. So we're getting super close to the event at this point. And of course, I'm sure you guys are excited for that. Anyway, that closes our show for today. Thank you so much for joining me on HCS Weekly. I'll see you guys next week.